Hey everybody, welcome to Eringy. I am Erin and welcome to your energy forecast for December, our last month of 2023. So I hope you've been finding this year fairly carefree. I'm laughing at that because if you've been experiencing this year very similar to myself, then you would be feeling like you kind of need a bit of a break, yeah. But anyway, we had our last theme of November was solitude. So hopefully that was a period of time for you to be able to step back and and just sort of decompress from what the year has been. And so we're basically entering a whole new energy today for this month of December. So grab yourself a pen and paper and we'll get started. Alrighty, beautiful. So right away, the theme of December for this last month of 2023 is nice. The card is Prosperity Begins. Prosperity begins, huh? Two words that come to mind here is growth and embrace. Okay, so growth and embrace. We're gonna probably I have a feeling we'll finalize the theme as we sort of finish this reading, but that's sort of kind of the two words that that are kind of coming to mind. This theme really does feel, or this month rather, end theme does really feel as though you are putting things in place. It feels more permanent actually, or more official, kind of like you've got a lot more clarity about your direction. Okay, so maybe clarity is a good one too. Anyway, we're going to come back to this one, alrighty? I just want to sort of see where you are right now and how that's affecting you. So I'm going to actually draw these two cards over at the same time. Okay, so where you are right now is truth. So that's an interesting one because I was feeling like when I drew the first card, the Prosperity Begins card, it felt like you were feeling more confident in your direction. So I would say that this really does relate to that confidence. Feeling as though you're a lot more certain with your truth as well, what you stand for, what you value, what's important to you. And because of that, how it's affecting you is patience and planning. So this is sort of like these two cards, truth, patience, and planning, work hand in hand, okay? I'm just going to sort of sit with these two for a moment. Okay, yeah, you I feel like going, yay! I feel as though you are slowing things down a lot. Maybe last month, because it being solitude for November, that theme, maybe that really helped you to slow things down a little and put things in place that mean that you are able to face situations or challenges in a space of what am I trying to say here? What are you saying here? Okay. Because you are more in touch with your truth, your values, what you stand for. Because you are starting to put things in place, right? You've been doing a bit more planning now. You're not rushing into things. You're sort of taking a step back. That is going to be a huge, huge benefit to you later on. Now, this might be showing up in so many different areas of your life. This could be your actual purpose. This could be your career. This could be a business that you've started up. This could be through relationships. This could be your health, your well-being. Okay, there are a multitude of ways that this particular energy can be showing up for you. So maybe just take a moment for a second as we are here in this reading to request more information from your higher self as to what this actually specifically means to you. Okay, so putting things in place, taking a step back, being a little more calm about your approach to making decisions means that you are building a solid foundation, right? And it means that you can carry out your mission in life. Okay, so when we say prosperity begins, you can sort of see on this card that there's a seed being planted, and from that, there's this beautiful tree that's growing, and from that, you get the fruits of the labor. Okay, so that's the theme of this. It's about embracing change. There we go. That's our theme. Embracing change, but on your terms. So it's, yeah, this month is really about you becoming very clear on what that might be. All right. Ooh, that's exciting. Okay. So because of this and this month, what are you going to surrender to? Now, this particular card that we're going to turn over in a second is really, really good to keep in mind if you are working with the full moon energy of this month as well, because the full moon is about release, surrendering, letting go. Okay. All right. So what are we surrendering to? Crown chakra. The crown chakra. The crown chakra is just above here. So it's the crown of the head. Okay. The crown chakra is full connection to self, to inner self, to the physicalness of the world. And it's also connection to something much bigger than you and I. Okay. So whatever that is to you. And it is about everything else, your energetic system. When we talk about chakras, we're talking about energy. Everything else being in full alignment. Okay, so it's a funny one when we sort of say we need to surrender to that. I really feel that this month is about surrendering to the flow of what change can bring. Okay, so surrendering to, surrendering to change, embrace change. Maybe there's a part of you that is hesitant to move forward because that means that something different is going to come up for you, something a little uncertain. Maybe your path is a little unclear. And sometimes not knowing what that path is or where it's going to lead can be actually really quite scary. And oftentimes, when we are making decisions about our direction, our ego really likes to step in and sort of say, well, hey, wait a second. This is what we're comfortable with. Where we are, we're comfortable here. Why would you put yourself in this position of potentially feeling discomfort by changing? Valid point from ego, but it's not necessarily a good one. Really got to use your intuition here. Okay, so if it feels right, it very, very likely is. It's so simple. It's pretty much that. So as you are embracing change, changing the direction of your career, of your purpose, of your relationship, of your health, of your well-being, all of those things. Yes, some of that might be a little scary. Yes, some of it is very uncertain. Totally get it. But if you have trust, okay, if you work with your crown chakra, if you surrender to something else that is bigger than you, some kind of higher power, if you really want to call it that, a higher power, a higher energy, a higher vibration or frequency, right? If you surrender to that and trust that, hey, it's got my back. I know it's got my back. I'm going in a good direction. It feels good until my ego steps in. But if I could remove my ego from this, I would feel great. So maybe this is something for you to work with for this month. Working on your crown chakra, working on that full connection, to self in terms of what you want, right? What you truly, truly want. Connection to that, and then connection to something that you just know has got your back, that you know it's going to support you no matter what. All right, super important. I feel because when we are working with this kind of energy, in terms of it showing up like this, right? This sort of energy means that the world around us is tumultuous. The world around us is chaotic, and we do need something to grab hold of during those chaotic times, because otherwise we lose ourselves and we lose hope. And hope is everything. Hope is like what your spirit is constantly seeking. Never, never want to feel hopeless. So this is your ticket to that. Okay. So surrender when we're going to be working with the full moon later, surrender to the hesitation to kind of go with the flow. Surrender to the trying to force things. Because when you force things, you create anxiety, right? Anxiety is such a brilliant symptom to let you know that you might be overdoing it. You might be trying too hard. Okay. It's really good. Normally people say anxiety is terrible, but I really feel like anxiety is just another feedback system. It's just something else to let us know, hey, you're just trying a little too hard right now. Okay? Okay, so you're going to surrender that, right? Then what are you going to embrace? So as we are embracing, this is another really beautiful opportunity. If you're working with the moon phases, the new moon is that time to embrace, kind of like a new goal sort of thing. So you're going to embrace, that's so good, intuition. Oh my God, that is amazing. These two work really well together. Your crown chakra and intuition really, really work well together. That's actually really, really cool. Your way of connecting, right? Connecting to that higher self, that innate wisdom, that frequency that is just completely void of ego, right? Is this. Use your intuition. I will make sure that I will offer a few things this month to help you with this, to help you embrace your intuition, okay? But if you are already intuitive, but you feel like you're kind of favoring the ego, then maybe this is a really good heads up for you to go, hang on a second, come back to intuition. Intuition is simply inner knowing, your inner knowing. And as I was saying before, when you are embracing change, if it feels right, then it probably is. Highly likely that it is, okay? Feeling, that's an intuition. It's a type of sense. What you see in your mind is also, what you hear is also another type of intuitive ability, okay? So it's really, if you are working, if this is totally new to you, you're like, I don't even know how to connect to my intuition. I don't even know what it is, right? The best way that I can guide you through it, I guess, is when you're relaying a story, right? When you're bringing up a memory, let's go with that. When you're bringing up a memory, what are the main things about a memory do you tend to focus on when you're talking about it? So say, for instance, you and I were in the room together and you were telling me about your childhood. As you're relaying information about your memory as a child, what specific things would you be telling me? So have a think about that for a moment. I'm so sorry, my nose is so itchy. Okay, so are you giving me details about what your childhood looks like? Maybe you're giving me details about how you felt as a child. Okay, maybe you're giving me more information about what it sounded like. Okay. Not as common, but maybe you tell me what your childhood smelt like, or, there might be aspects about your memory that had certain tastes in it as well. So you might kind of give me some more information about that. If you're telling me what you ate as a child, then maybe that's something. And maybe it's just you can't quite really remember your childhood, but you know what it was like. Okay, so whatever one that you have specifically focused on more. So if it's something that you saw, something that you felt, something you heard, something you tasted or smelt, or something you just knew, that is your primary intuitive sense. We have a bunch of them, obviously, and we can use different ones at different times. But if you do tend to focus on something like visual, if you're more of a visual person, then you're very likely going to have clairvoyance, the ability to see. Okay, so if you're clairsentient, it means that you feel things. So you're more of a tangible person, right? If you hear things, if you are relaying your memory and it's coming from a place of you hearing things, you're clairaudient. Okay, so yeah, that's your psychic ability or your intuitive ability. If you just know what your childhood was like, but you just, that's it. You just know what it was like, then that's claircognizant. So that's a knowing. So if you can identify what that is, then you can do things throughout your day to strengthen that part of your ability. So if you feel things, then you can tune in to sort of ask yourself, how do I feel today? What do I feel about this? Okay. If you're more of a tangible person, then you might like to just pick an object up today and just sort of focus on what it actually feels like. Smooth, rough, silky. You're tuning into the feeling. Okay. So whatever symptom or not symptom, but ability that you have, right? Which I guess is a symptom. You can strengthen that by doing similar things that will complement that particular sense. Okay, so I know that was really, really long-winded. I hope you're still with me. Okay, so this is what you need to embrace for this month and onwards, but specifically for this month. And I guess that's really going to be helpful for you to embrace change as well. Okay. Awesome. All right. So what are your achievements? What can you celebrate? And again, this is something really cool that you can work with the full moon as well. Okay. Your achievements. Okay. Fertility. This is all very syncing together, which, they normally do, really. I mean, that's the beauty of communing with spirit. They know what they're talking about. Okay, fertility. Now, we could be talking about like the physicalness of fertility. So maybe there is a newborn that's coming into the world, or perhaps it's a new venture. So we have been talking about embracing change. So this is you. This is you listening to your heart. This is you slowing it down. We're talking about patience and planning and really honing in on your truth. This is you. So this is a huge, huge accomplishment, something that's going to take you really, really far. And it kind of keeps you out of the murkiness of the world as well. I feel like we as humans really do have this deep, deep want or need to be creative. We always just want to create. And everybody is creative in some way. And fertility is that chance to create something. And it's about embracing something that is completely new as well. This month is feeling very new. And it's interesting because we do tend to look at, if we're looking at the year as a whole, we do have a tendency of looking at January as being, because it's the beginning of a new year. We do tend to look at that month as being something new as well. And then the rest of the months kind of flow on from that we build momentum. And we get to December and it's kind of like the closure of the year, right? This is not feeling like closure at all. This, I almost actually feel like last month, November, when we were talking about solitude, that felt like closure. But this month is really feeling more like it is new. Okay, that's really exciting, especially if you are being super authentic with yourself, very truthful about where you truly, truly want to be. Not where everyone else wants you to be, but where you feel in your heart. And if you are feeling like, you know, almost sort of like a small fish in a massive ocean, then you've got to come back to the full faith that you are on the right track, okay? And you've got to connect with that crown chakra and your intuition to really, truly feel it, see it, know it. Yeah. All right. I'm feeling super passionate about this. Okay. If that is what you're going to achieve, what should you potentially avoid? Let's take a look. The universe. We don't want to avoid the universe. This must be a really important message for you because I'm feeling very repetitive in what I'm relaying to you. But again, this comes down to having full trust in something bigger than yourself, having full trust in the collective plan for humanity. Maybe there's an aspect of you that is quite concerned about where humanity is headed, me being one of them. So this is a timely reminder for all of us to really understand that things like this need to happen for a very, very good reason. Every situation we find ourselves in is an opportunity to grow from that, and we can decide how we grow. And that can either be that we, you know, flourish and we evolve, right? Or it could be that we grow into something else that we may or may not be, or more to the point, we mightn't be overly happy with. But it's still, in a weird way, growth. I'm hoping I'm making sense there. Okay, so to avoid feeling like it's all impossible. I was talking about feeling hopeless before. Avoid that. It's so easy for me to say, I know, because I'm not in your life. I get it. However, we can choose. We really, really can. And for me personally, I feel if I have a deeper connection to something else that's beyond me, right? And it changes. Sometimes that connection is, I'm pointing outside because there's a window behind you, nature. So as I'm looking beyond you, there's a beautiful tree. Actually, there's a bunch of trees, gorgeous trees. And that to me is an energy that is way bigger than me. Okay. So sometimes that's my form of coming back to that feeling that I'm being supported, nourished, nurtured. Okay. If I don't have connection to nature, then my connection to something bigger than me is just the trust that I just look at life and I think this is a miracle that we're here. So there's got to be something bigger than me at play here. None of this can be coincidental. And if it is, it's amazing. So that in itself is bigger than me. All right. I'm really hoping I'm making sense again. So whatever the universe means to you, right? We all have different definitions, and I'm not here to tell you what is right or wrong because really, I don't think there is a right or wrong. I really think if it makes you a better person and you're not trying to force that onto everybody else, you're allowing everyone else to make their own decision, then that's an incredible energy. It's high vibrational energy and it's making you a really kind person. So yeah, if you can connect with that and avoid that feeling that you are alone, that everything is hopeless, that you can't achieve your goals, right? Then that is the critical point. So you'll be able to move forward. You'll be able to embrace change way easier because guess what? And they've just sort of, you know, it's like they're talking really quick and I'm really trying to stay and keep up with them. What they're saying is that whether you like it or not, right? And this isn't sort of like this isn't coming from anger or anything like that. It's like whether you like it or not, it's not like that. But whether we like it or not, change is going to happen, right? It changes all the time. Everything does. Nothing can stay the same because energy in itself is never still. It's constantly vibrating, constantly moving. So everything does need to change. We can either be on board with it or we're just not. If we're not on board with it and we're resistant to it, then we're going to have a really tough time. We are going to feel anxious because we're resisting something. We're trying to control something that is really out of our control. There is only so much of our life that we can control, which I know is super scary. It's scary, but it's different when you have some connection to something bigger than yourself. Okay. All right, let's take a breath. Talking so much and feeling a lot right now. Okay, so let's have a look in summary. Okay. In summary, it's transformation. What a huge month. Transformation. What do we say about that? Because we're living day to day, we don't necessarily see change because we're always in it. And it's not really until we take time to reflect back on the year that has been or the years prior that we compare the kind of person we were then to the person we are now. And that's when we can notice, hey, there's actual transformation there. I have grown. I've evolved in some way. My thought processes are different. I think differently about myself. I feel differently about the world, whatever the case may be. What they're basically saying is that you are constantly transforming and it's subtle. It's subtle. But these things that you are choosing to do, you choosing to be way more connected to your power, way more connected to your authenticity, way more connected to what you really want. You choosing to do that. You choosing to embrace change. You choosing to trust that you are on the right path, to trust in yourself. Okay, trust your inner wisdom, your intuition, and let go of any doubt. Even if I say those things and they don't seem like very big things or they don't seem like a really big deal, they are huge, massive, huge. The collectiveness, right, of humanity right now is undergoing a huge shift, massive shift. And I don't particularly know what the long-term outcome is, all of this. And I don't actually, I'm just going to be completely honest with you, I don't really know what the purpose of all of this is either. But we have come here for a reason, right? We are here. We're here to experience what it's like to be human. We're here to create, right? Okay, so always creating. We're here to empower ourselves. We're here to love one another, right? We're here to make mistakes, definitely. And all of that leads to growth. And it all leads to us being better, hopefully. And better toward everybody else, better toward the planet, better toward everything. That's the dream. So if you're ever feeling like you're not getting anywhere, right, that you're just kind of remaining stagnant and it's just kind of really not, you're not kind of where you thought you would be just yet, I really just feel like letting you know that you are transforming in huge, massive ways. And humanity as a whole is undergoing this as well. Some seem as though they are evolving at a faster rate. And that is just, that's just their path, right? You can't compare yourself to others. It's super important that you don't do that because all that does is generate distrust in your own path, okay? gets in the way of you being able to pick up possibilities, other opportunities that you would maybe not actually see if you were so worried about where you were headed. Okay, your judgment becomes clouded and your intuition is, again, clouded also. Okay, so huge month of transformation. It's kind of, I feel like it's sort of, November was about closure. It's funny, isn't it? November was closure, and then January, because I'm thinking about new beginnings. December is about starting something new, not out here though. It's internal, it's all internal. Creating that solid foundation will basically mean that the external things will change as well later. Okay, so yeah, this entire year, right? Oh my God, this entire year, would you say has not been the most full-on internal energetic year ever? I feel like it has. I really feel like it has. And this is just highlighting that in such beautiful, beautiful ways. All of the mess that you've had to go through has been worth it. It really has. Everything is for a reason. So yeah, I will throughout this month, on my socials, I'll offer a few things that you can that can assist you, okay, to navigate this month. If there's a period of time where you're feeling a little hesitant with your path, or you're just kind of, you know, maybe a little stuck or feeling like you can't connect to your intuition, I will make sure that I offer some resources for you throughout December, to ensure that, you know, you can continue to move forward in leaps and bounds. Okay, so that is this energy forecast for the month of December. Amazing. Our theme, okay, is embrace change. Okay, really feel like that really came up a lot. So it was good to have the other cards to complement that, I think. Yeah. Okay, gorgeous. So let me know how you feel about this particular energy theme. Let me know if you're feeling really excited about this one, really confident. Maybe you're feeling a little hesitant, which is totally okay. Alrighty, and yeah, I'll offer some resources throughout the month so that you can be, you know, on your way to feeling amazing. Okay, beautiful. I'm sending you so much love. Mwah. Namaste.